So what's going on, people? It's Lex here from the Pro Wrestling Reviewer. I got to talk about No Mercy last night, and yeah, I can tell by the smile on my face I had a pretty good time watching that. It was a very good show. Smackdown just seems to keep proving why out of the three brands now at WWE, they are the top one. They are giving us everything we want as wrestling fans at a high quality. So yeah, it's going really well. So yeah, let's start off. The show started off obviously with the pre-show. We had a massive tag team match, which these always baffle me, but we had American Alpha and the Hype Bros versus Ascensions and Vaudevillains. American Alpha picking up the win over the Vaudevillains, so hopefully obviously this should really give American Alpha the push to hopefully go towards the titles, hopefully. But obviously we'll talk about that a bit more when it comes to the tag team title match that was on. But how good did the Ascensions look? Like, I'm a massive fan of the Ascensions, so it was really happy to see them come down very much how they were in NXT for me. And I wrote a blog on this the other day, and I'm really happy that it's happened, because I was saying that they needed to lose that gimmick and go back to what they was, and hopefully we can see a highly dark, dominant heel team in WWE, especially on SmackDown as well. Obviously, we've got the club on Raw, so hopefully, for me, the Ascensions are their equal on SmackDown. But yeah, it was a very good match. It's always entertaining, especially with 8-man tag team. It's always entertaining. The Vaudevillains for me were a bit, I don't know if it's them themselves or the creative that are taking a knock back on them, but for me, the Vaudevillains need to sort themselves out, really. It's not looking good for them. But for me, the Ascensions, out of them two heels they're other than the Usos now, it's got to be the Ascensions that are up there for the heel sides of the tag team division on SmackDown. But I'm happy American Alpha picked up the win. Really happy to see that. I'm a bit annoyed it was via a roll-up, but it happens. So yeah, American Alpha got the win. So fairly decent match, pre-show match really. But we move on to the main card, starting off with the world's title, AJ versus John Cena versus Dean Ambrose. It was a bit strange that they decided to put this on first. Maybe John or AJ had prior commitments away from the venue later on in the night, I could imagine is the reason why. But for me, there was no need to stick them on that early in the card. At least have them mid-card. I'd rather have seen the tag team titles go on, but obviously we had the 8-man tag before. So yeah, but obviously AJ picks up the win. There's like a weird double tap out thing for AJ via Dean and John, and then obviously still a chair and AJ picks up the win. One of the match of the nights. AJ consistently is putting on match of the night every pay-per-view and near enough every SmackDown that he's on, and that's really good to see. And I think WWE really needed that this year. Obviously, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, TNA are the more wrestling shows along with NXT, so it's really good that they signed AJ and they're allowing him to wrestle the way that he can. So yeah, he's putting on match of the night near enough every single time, and I'm happy he's still champion. I do want John to break the Ric Flair's 16-time streak. I would prefer John to get the 16th time at WrestleMania and probably the 17th time at SummerSlam, and let him go off with that. Maybe get him up to 18 so it isn't like he's just beat Ric Flair for me. Obviously Ric Flair's titles come from all over the places, and they're not just WWE, they're NWA and WCW. So for me, John Cena taking the 16th, 17th, and for me, hopefully at 18th titles will confirm that John is the WWE guy, which we all believe that's what he is, love or hate him. But hopefully this brings Dean, for me, away from the world title scene. Hopefully this will put him back down to the Intercontinental, let him feud out there, because I don't really see him in the world title picture. I'd rather see somebody else come up. I'd rather see, for me, Baron Corbin, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, let them go after the title for a bit. Dean's gone very stale. We don't really want a stale title. SmackDown's doing so well. So yeah, I'm very happy that AJ picked up the title. Then we move on to Carmella and Nikki Bella. And yeah, this was fairly good match. Nikki came out with the win. Carmella obviously losing. I'm a bit gutted on that. I had Carmella down to win on my predictions. I don't really know where this is going to go. Hopefully they feud for a bit longer because I'm enjoying that feud. It obviously gives them both something to do. I don't think either are ready for the title scene. Obviously Nikki's ready, but I think she's more value to Carmella feud than she is to the title scene at the minute. Becky and Alexa and Naomi and Natalia will do a very good job over on that, so they don't really need Nikki there at the minute. Build up Carmella as she's the weakest one out of the lot of them. But yeah, again, she's looking stronger and stronger every time. Happy Nikki won with her attitude adjustment, RKO 2.0 backdrop thing, man, which just looks better and better every time I see it. Yeah, so Nikki picked up the win. Not much really saying that. I'm happy that it was on after the world title match. Gave it a bit of a break before the tag team titles, which is what I felt it needed. But it was at the same time a fairly decent match. You can never really fault Nikki or Carmella in that. So yeah, we move on to the tag team titles. We have the Usos versus Rhino and Slater, who are the champions. I had Rhino and Slater down to win. I said it was a 50-50 toss, but I'm still very happy that Rhino and Slater won. I don't see the point in ending their momentum at the minute. The Usos are looking better and better, losing the face paint, come out of the shirt. His trousers on, so yeah, it was a fairly good match. Keeping Rhino out the ring as long as possible, so I think that seems to be the tactic for everybody who seems to be fighting them. Is obviously Rhino's the strong one, the gore. You keep him out of the ring. Yeah, so obviously they pick up the win. I don't really know where they'll go from here. Obviously American Alpha will, for me, be the ones rightfully to come up to take the titles next, but obviously they're going to feud with Usos a bit longer, so I imagine Usos will take it off on maybe SummerSlam, Survivor Series, sorry, and yeah, then probably American Alpha will come and take it off them probably about Rumble time, probably lead into a feud with the Usos to Mania, to be fair. Yeah, probably Survivor Series to Mania with a title change around Royal Rumble. But at the same time, no, it's a very good match. I do love watching Usos. They have their moments. Didn't really rate much as a face. Now they're heel. Like, it's bringing the entertainment value back. Very good match at the same time, though. So yeah, Rhino and Slater still tag team champions, which was good. But at this point in time, it was getting very obvious for the Dolph Wins match because no titles had changed. There always seems to be that one title that changes. I know we're hearing rumours that Becky, at this point, hearing rumours on Twitter that Becky isn't going to be fighting tonight, so that title isn't changing. So yeah, but yeah, we move on to Corbin and Jack Swagger. Very good match. I'm so happy with the way Jack Swagger's coming across in SmackDown. Like, I've always rated him as a wrestler ever since his world title to him and Cesaro. Like, he's always very good, and I'm happy that they're doing that. Yeah, Corbin picks up the win, but for me, everybody I keep seeing on the net is a massive Corbin mark, but for me, I'm a massive Swagger mark. It's annoying. It's annoying as well that they're not releasing any muscle figures for him. I know there was a few back, but I didn't start collecting until after that. And yeah, I need a Jack Swagger figure in my life, so hopefully that will happen soon as well. But yeah, very good match. If that was on SmackDown and they wrestled the way they did, that would have been match of the night on SmackDown because it was on a pay-per-view and obviously the big performers performed. It wasn't, but it was a serious contender for the shock value of how well that did. Like, everyone keeps saying, can Corbin escape the pre-show, and he's escaped it, and it's proven why he can escape it. And for Jack Swagger to be that high up on a pay-per-view card was incredible. So yeah, very happy with that. Corbin picked up the win. So yeah, we move on to Dolph Ziggler versus the Miz for the Intercontinental Championship career versus title fight. I wasn't that invested into this fight at the time. I know a lot of yous were. I'm obviously happy to not see Dolph Ziggler retire, but yeah, the Miz did so well as champion, even at the end when he lost his title and Dolph's running down to the stage area, and the Miz is just sulking on the ring rope. It's just like just quality heel work. But yeah, Dolph Ziggler picks up the win. I don't see him staying Intercontinental Champion long. I'd like to see Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, maybe Luke Harper, maybe Baron, maybe Jack Swagger go after that title for a bit. There's rumours that Miz is going over to Raw. With the way that the way people are performing at the minute, I don't think it would be that big of a loss if Miz went over to Raw. I think it would do really well for Raw as well. I think Raw needs that at the minute. Dolph Ziggler as champion, there's not a lot to say. When he won the world title, cashing in his money in the bank and won the world title, obviously everyone was amazed and everyone thought, he's going to go on to great things. Just never happened. His last Intercontinental reign for me wasn't that great. There's nothing really rememberable from it, so I can't imagine this one being much different. I know he's going to be playing on the card that everyone thought was a loser, and people didn't rate me that high, but it's just like, you should have been higher than this. You're a natural wrestler. You should have been in the world title scene. You shouldn't be putting your career on the line for an Intercontinental title. Same time though, match of the night. So how can you have your ups and your downs for each fight. Match of the night. Dolph always puts on amazing matches. So does the Miz. The Korea versus Intercontinental title just didn't. The Miz has made Intercontinental title great again, but for me, the Intercontinental title is not worth you risking your career over. You know what I mean? If you've got one fight left, and this only fight, you have to win a title to get this fight. Man, why are you going after the Intercontinental title? Go after the world title. If they don't let you in there, jump brand. Go after the Universal title. You know what I mean? Yeah, but at the same time, match of the night, amazing match. That's just me picking faults at that. Then we move on to Alexa Bliss versus Naomi, and obviously Alexa coming to the ring with microphone. As it was, Naomi comes out. Naomi picks up the win for me. Alexa Bliss is one of the best female wrestlers in that company, and I hope they don't job her out. Her look is amazing. Her moveset is amazing. Her character is amazing. The way she plays it is amazing. Her mic skills are good. Her wrestling moveset is good. The way she wrestles is good. Why is she losing to Naomi? Why? For me, there was that didn't do anything for Naomi. It didn't do anything for Alexa. All that did was just make me feel like I've watched 2 hours of wrestling to see what should have been a title match, and obviously Becky's injured, so that can't be. But Alexa Bliss shouldn't have been losing that. Not at all. Not if she's going after the title. Not any random wrestler coming out to make. There was just no sense in that. No sense in that. But at the same time, it's always a good match. Naomi is an amazing wrestler as well, so that was a very good match as well. But I wish Alexa picked up the win. And then we move on to the main event, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. And I seen this on Twitter, and I forget who said, saying that, no, it wasn't. It was on Instagram from Planet Wrestling, I think, saying that Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton was not a main event match, and the match wasn't, and I agree. And these plain reasons was the feud didn't feel like it needed to happen. Everyone's pictured that Randy was going to win this. The only reason Bray won was because Luke Harper distracted, and oh my god, everyone marked out at that. But it was not the main. I would have rather seen Dolph versus Miz headline, or Corbin versus Swagger, or let the tag teams headline it, or let one of the women headline it, man. There was no need for this to be headlined. Very happy to see Luke Harper back. I know I said that I thought it was going to be on Raw. Is obviously not. I'm extremely happy about that. So hopefully we will see the Wyatt family back, which is very good news. So fingers crossed. But at the same time as well, very good that we're seeing Bray Wyatt pick up a win on a pay-per-view. When does that ever happen? That never happens. So yeah, that's a good sign. But yeah. other than that thought that shouldn't have been the main event tonight, I feel like any of the other matches should have main evented over this. I felt like this was at the middle of the card, but at the same time Luke Harper returning made it all better, and Bray Wyatt winning was astounding. So yeah, other than that, it was an amazing show. I'm very happy with the way SmackDown are portraying themselves at the minute, and I hope this is signs to continue, because Raw and SmackDown and NXT are all doing so well, and I don't see where it's going to stop. So yeah, very good show. On other wrestling news though, as we've seen tonight, that Paige has been suspended for 60 days for a second wellness violation. I don't get what's happened here. Obviously, she's got her issues with WWE. WWE have their issues with her. This is her way of trying to force herself out of the company, which I hope is not. I hope I'm looking into it too much. If it is, and she wants to move on, then I think WWE should just let that happen. There's no point damaging in her. Let her go off, let her enjoy her career, let her come back in 5-6 years time with a lot more experience under her belt. She's grown up, and then yeah, she'd be a much bigger star, and you'd be grateful for doing that. Hopefully she stays in the higher indies like TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Obviously, if she does leave WWE, she'll be heading back home to do a bit of wrestling for her family's organisation. But hopefully, she stays around the Ring of Honor sort of section, maybe What Culture, stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm not too upset, because obviously I feel like if Paige came back recently, then WWE are just going to job her out. That's obviously what they're going to do. So I don't think she wants that to happen to herself. She has her career set in her head, and that's not what her career is. So yeah, whatever happens, happens. We won't know for another 60 days probably, maybe. We probably won't know now until she either has her final strike or she appears back on television, one or the other. Yeah, so all the best. So we wish Paige well over here. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and comment, and obviously subscribe down below. You can follow me on Twitter at PWReviewer. Also, if you want to help the cause of hopefully being able to build a bigger network of wrestling news, not just for WWE, I do TNA, there's a TNA one on my YouTube now. Hopefully I want to do a few more TNAs. I'd like to do some Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's a few independent wrestling circuits around the UK at the minute that I'd like to do some on that. There's one that I'm really interested in starting to review, which is called Kamikaze Pro. The 30th of October, I think it is, at Medway Centre in Stechford. I think that's what it's called. Is Bank on It 4. We have EC3 from TNA and Melina from WWE. That is something that I'd actually like to go to and review, and obviously bring you all the news about that. And hopefully, obviously, over the course of time, obviously try and get some interviews with the wrestlers. If you have any questions for any particular wrestlers, I will try my hardest to get that across to them. So yeah, if you'd like to support, don't forget to go to the Patreon page, which is patreon.com/PWReviewer, where you can sign up from anything from £1 to £50 a month, and there's loads of stuff that you get for that. You get live video chats, stickers sent out, entered into wrestling figure competitions, merchandise competitions, special t-shirts that will be handed out. So yeah, thank you very much. Speak to you soon.